Try Relapse today. But before you judge me, let me finish explaining. This might just be the most insane hack to quit nicotine that no one has ever shared before. Because what if I told you lighting up today is the key to quitting for good? Well, it's not that simple. There's a catch. And if you stay till 2:30, I'll show you how cravings literally collapse in real time. Welcome to my channel. You've tried willpower apps, even cold turkey, but still you secretly light up anyway. What if the solution to beating nicotine isn't fighting cravings, but embracing them? Here's why science says your brain loves defeat and how to weaponize it. And here's a warning. This 10-minute experiment is intense. And while I'll guide you through it, some parts may be too triggering to watch. If that's you, pause here and reach out to a support line instead. So why would I say that relapsing is a good thing? Well, to understand that, we have to first dive into the Relapse Day experiment. Today's Relapse Day starts now. Light a cigarette and watch it burn all the way to ash. The heartbeat speeds up, then slows down and stops. I feel the urge to light another one, but I won't. I'm filled with shame. That was stupid. Why did I do that? I'm a failure. I'll never quit. For anyone struggling with an impulse control disorder like addiction, there are two paths: surrender or resistance. And for the first 48 hours, resistance feels better. After all, we're taking back control. But here's where things get interesting. By day 3, withdrawal symptoms hit. And while everyone is different, most people experience intense cravings between days 3 to 7. And that's where surrender becomes more appealing. But what does that even mean? It means doing what you want, giving into the craving, lighting up when you feel the urge. So why would I suggest that? Well, studies show that by day 7, cravings start to fade away regardless of the path you choose. But here's the shocking part: the craving collapse. Some people report feeling so overwhelmed by the intensity of their own cravings that they just give in and smoke. And in doing so, their cravings vanish. Why? Because your brain doesn't care about cravings anymore. It only cares about dope. In fact, neuroscientists say your brain loves defeat. It thrives on a dopamine crash. So what if we could weaponize that? Well, science says you can. The reason why some people overcome cravings instantly is because they embrace the urge rather than fight it. So I lit up today to prove that point. Now stick around for 2 more reasons why this matters and how to apply it to your own life. And here's a preview. Willpower is a myth. Your brain hates willpower. It struggles against the urge. And while it's a noble approach, it's also the worst weapon you could wield. Cravings are like waves crashing against the shore. They ebb and flow. Trying to hold back the wave is futile. It takes far less energy to simply ride the wave. And when you do, you come out the other side unscathed. And that's exactly what happens when you surrender to cravings. Now, this is important. There are 3 ways to implement this counterintuitive psychology. First, the embrace the craving meditation. Now, close your eyes, take a deep breath in, then breathe out. Breathe in the urge, exhale the fight. Take another deep breath in, then breathe out. Notice how your body feels relaxed. Breathe in the urge, exhale the fight. Repeat this for a few minutes and notice how much calmer you feel. In fact, science says when you stop resisting, your brain stops screaming. Here's why. When you submit to an urge, dopamine floods your system. And I know this sounds terrible, but your brain craves it. In fact, it demands it. Dopamine is like fuel to your brain. It's what makes you feel alive. And while you're probably thinking of sugar, sex, and junk food, the biggest dopamine hit you'll ever experience is when you embrace cravings. That's right. Giving in to a craving produces a larger spike in dopamine than any other activity, including gambling, eating your favorite food, or checking your phone. But why? Well, after evading cravings for weeks, your brain's dopamine receptors become super sensitive. So when you finally cave in, your brain goes wild, it screams with joy. But here's the problem. Most people never make it to this stage because willpower fails. And here's the proof. Researchers took a group of smokers and told them to quit for a week. Then they gave them unlimited cigarettes and told them to smoke as much as they wanted. At the end of the week, the group had doubled their nicotine intake compared to baseline. On the surface, this looks like a failure, but that couldn't be further from the truth. These participants had zero cravings. And according to neuroscientist Dr. Peter Wybro, cravings are the true measure of addiction. Not quitting completely is great, but overcoming cravings is life-changing. So here's the crazy part. The key to conquering cravings is making them worse. Think about it. If your goal is to learn how to surrender to cravings, then shouldn't you practice surrendering to cravings? Of course. This is called the Zeigarnik effect. Any unresolved tension builds until you release it. And the longer you hold off on that tension, the harder it hits. So to break free of cravings, you need to tame cravings. And I know that sounds weird, but cravings are like a wild horse. You can't tame a wild horse by resisting its strength. You have to match its intensity. Only then can you gain control. That's why I surrendered to the craving on camera today. I needed to feel the full force of it so I could show you how cravings naturally collapse. And it's true. As soon as I lit up, my cravings disappeared. But will that work for you? Well, I don't know. You have to try it to find out. So here's the deal. In 60 seconds, I'll show you how to collapse your cravings once and for all. All you have to do is stare at this cigarette for 60 seconds straight without touching it. Can you do that? I bet you can't. In fact, I bet you'll give in within 10 seconds. But if you stick it out, you'll prove that you can master cravings, and your cravings will disappear. Okay, let's go. Here's why that works. You see, our brains love multisensory experiences. That's why movies are more fun than books, and video games are more engaging than board games. Combining senses creates supercharged memories. So by focusing intently on a cigarette, you bypass the rational part of your brain and speak directly to the lizard brain. It hears your craving and says, "Got you." And in doing so, your craving vanishes. I call this the 60-second craving collapse test, and it's guaranteed to work. Just ask these 150 volunteers who participated in my study. Across 3 independent studies, people reported a 70% reduction in cravings after a single session. So what if you don't want to smoke? Is there another way to apply this? Absolutely. There are actually 3 alternatives. Number 1 is urge journaling, which is writing down every single craving thought. That's why number 2 is the sensory swap, which is chewing a piece of spicy gum whenever you get the urge. And number 3 is envoy exposure, which is filming yourself during an urge so you can detach from it. Pick one method and watch your craving shrink by 70% in a week. So here's what happened after I embraced my cravings today. After day 1, the urge to light up lingered, but I ignored it. By day 2, the urge was gone, replaced by mild cravings. Day 3 brought withdrawal symptoms, so I opted for the sensory swap, chewing gum during the strongest urges. And guess what? By day 4, cravings returned, but they were weaker than before. By day 5, the cravings faded, and by day 6, only mild cravings remained. Finally, by day 7, the ashes were gone, and I felt an overwhelming sense of calm wash over me. By surrendering, you become unstoppable. Watch your cravings die. Now, comment below if you agree. Willpower is the worst weapon. Your brain hates it. And if you want more radical mind hacks, hit the subscribe button.